Okay, here we go. All right. What a mess. Okay, here we go. Haruko. Okay, we got this right now. There she is. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Edit. We're already live.
Oh, already live.
Yeah, but let me see if there's anyone even here. Hang on. Oh yeah, they're coming in now. Yeah, there's like 20 people. Yeah, I think it's because okay. It's all
Because
right.
we
We're
were
good.
late. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
No biggie.
Thank you
No biggie.
for.
We got we got a few people in the house. All right. Okay, so I'll just leave my Facebook page up so I can see comments. So we got our beautiful sister Haruko's back,
Yay.
and you're going to share some stuff with us as usual.
Yeah.
Words and maybe music and art.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, maybe all of them. But first of all, how's it going to Mount Shasta?
Yeah, Shasta had a big storm. It's like along with a solar flare, it was like the whole. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, the whole energetic cleanup was happening. I mean, from my perspective, in January up to perhaps like mid January. And right now is a really good time, clearing all kind of finished. And it's a little bit of a breathing time, I guess, integrating the new
And
energy
yeah.
and putting things together in alignment in a new way.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Mount Shasta, I saw that Sandra Walter was packing her stuff in Sedona and going. I think from the post, it sounds like for the last couple of years she goes to Shasta for 2 months. When the owners of the house that she this is nothing. I mean, she posted this, so I'm not saying anything that wasn't public, but she's anyway. It reminded me of her and what you're saying about this period, and I think she said between the 22nd and the 29th, something like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Okay.
that it's a major corridor. I know a few other people have talked about this period in January. What are you feeling beyond the integration? Anything? Do you have any feel for what's coming or what's upon us or what's happened?
Yeah, I don't really listen to other people. Sometimes I tend to um receive those new, corridor, whatever, little bit before. And so the time that people say, like the date, I don't really feel much.
Mm-hmm.
And but I feel like from the end of last year, um,
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
sorry.
Wait a minute. Can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Hold on for a second.
Oh, that's
Maybe I
better like that.
can.
Like you were. No, you're good. The way you're
Okay.
talking. Yeah,
Okay.
Hung was saying that it was low. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Yeah, I need to speak up a little. I tend to speak a little, quiet. So I'm practicing with that. So yeah, from the end of last year, feels like it was a preparation time, and many of our cell of our body was receiving lots of energy, and for me, January 21st was a really big day. I felt like the higher self, or like a divine aspect of me, just kind of like came in another level. So until then, it was just so much of clearing that old energy in, really looking at, the deep, deep, deep fear, and clearing that up. And so, yeah, 21st for me was really like, okay, this is a new self, and I'm practicing to embody that. That's what I'm feeling. So I don't know, how are you? You're in
That's
Sedona?
no, I'm in Texas.
Oh, okay.
I left Sedona December 13th. Uh
Okay.
God, what were you just saying? I forgot. I forgot what you were saying. Oh,
Oh, so
well,
I said, how are you?
that was on the eve, either the eve or the day of the new moon, too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a powerful, powerful new moon.
Mm-hmm.
Ty and I
Yeah.
did a little music show that night. Either I think it may have been the 21st, and we got on, and we just make it up whatever we do whenever we
Mm-hmm.
make music, and we were both like, "What do you want to make music about today?" And I said, "I don't know. It just feels really weird. Feels really strange. Like I guess the beginning of the integration period. Maybe that's part of it. But I felt like after we came out of December, we came out on the other side of really came out on the other side, and it's literally a whole new world.
Mm.
Literally, I know we've had phases and levels, but that 10-year period of the Mayan calendar ended on 21 December.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
From 21 December 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to have some significance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel that we are so privileged to receive this new embodiment as a creator. And, you know, I've been just so demanded to refine and refine because, if you are creating from non alignment, just manifestation is so much faster. And, there's not much grace period. So, but I feel like we passed this kind of like a test. We have
Mm,
done so much, together as a, conscious creator. We've cleared many of our programs, and, at least we are observing and, recognizing our program. And so we're receiving this newer, bigger role and responsibility in a way of being a creator. And look, it's going to be a total new path. You knew that. But it is really up to you guys to create. And, it's like a third wheel. It's like boom, it's gone.
mm,
Now it's like, wow, okay, I really really have to be watching every moment. I mean, we've been doing that, but it's much more of the demands for
yeah.
being
It
in the
feels like
moment.
the training wheels came off the bicycle,
Right, right, yeah,
right? I think that's what
that's
you
what
were,
I
yeah.
feel like. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
uh so there's been so many changes, like changes the way we communicate, changes everything. These things that weren't changing the whole time we were doing shadow work and all this, but it feels like something's changed. Like the telepathy is huge.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting
Mm-hmm.
close to the place where nobody's going to not know anything, right? And we're having to be, like honest with our own telepathy about ourselves and that type of thing. But as a creator, I mean, that's one of the many things you do. You create. You started creating with the Rabbit Universe years ago, and everyone knows, and anyone that's been to Mount Shasta knows you. And if you haven't, if you're going to Mount Shasta, you want to check her place out. It's incredible. But do you feel? Let me ask you this way: have your creations changed, and do you feel like that they're going, or do you feel like they're going to change?
No. So all the drawings that I have been doing since 1999, the way I approach, back then I didn't know what I was doing. To now, I am drawing like this year. Like in the past, I was drawing like 10 years ahead of like what I'm going to understand or experience. And now, it's just like now. I'm drawing the now.
Really?
So yeah. Mm-hmm. and and even though I feel, like it's like a future, but it's really here now. Like I'm living it now, as
Right.
well as I'm drawing it. And so that's the difference, I think.
So what does the now tell you, or maybe you're going to tell us later because you're going to screen share, but
Mm.
what does the now tell you when you're doing these pictures? What does it look like?
Well, it looks sort of similar in my style, but the way I feel is like, higher dimension is much more present. So I feel like they're really drawing with me, with my body, So the distance in my consciousness is much more closer now. It's almost like emerging right here, right now, and they're drawing with me. Like the last drawing, the recent drawing, I really felt like a Mary Magdalene and Saint Germain, and I like to work with the ascended masters because they really focus on the spiritual growth, and I really resonate with that. And when I was drawing, I was feeling the words, it's granted. And like, oh, granted. And I felt that, we've worked so much to this point, and and we have to meet up, right? From our place to their place, and we have to come to this certain, point, and we kind of proved that. And now, we passed the point, and okay, another level of the responsibility is granted, embodiment, that the bigger divine embodiment is granted for you guys. So that's what I was feeling like. Oh wow, okay, this is sort of the theme of this year, that embodiment and also empowerment, getting the power back from a government and health, system, and all of that, and we are taking the power back, and we are really embodying in a bigger way this year. That's what I felt through, my recent drawings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and I know we did a show toward the end of last year, and we talked about a lot of people seeking solitude. There was movement and solitude and realignments and that type of thing. And I know you were in the process of trying to move.
Mm-hmm.
You had to move. You got that all
Yes.
worked out and everything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
it was
excellent.
very interesting too. So many people are asked to be solitude, and really anchoring in to the place where they're living, or to ourself, right? I feel that because, the earth is doing at the same time, that we are co-creating this together with
Mm.
Mother Earth. And the place I was, guided to move was sub portal of Mount Shasta, which had been dormant and misused and abused.
Uh-huh.
Um, and and I was wondering, my heart was saying yes, this is the place. My head was saying no, I don't want to. It's kind of ghetto, I don't feel the good energy. But sometimes, well, all the time you have to listen to the heart. And so I moved there, and really recognizing that the portal is like a acupuncture body of the earth, and so the sub portal are getting ready to get cleaned up even more, so that she can receive the cosmic energy fully.
Mm.
And whoever is guided to do so are now guided more and more. And I don't call myself a grid worker or anything, but by living there and feeling that place, I'm not really a seer, or I don't hear, but it was such a mess. And the first morning I woke up, that the energy is moving almost like a reverse. It's like total unhealthy reverse, movement. And so I was so dizzy, and I couldn't move and walk, and I couldn't eat because nothing was functioning within me. So it was
Mm.
like totally immersed to that portal, and had to bring myself all over again, with a new house, and new, location, and new energetic field. And also for me, new empowerment, and new embodiment. So it was like simultaneously happening with a portal. And I feel like, it's coming back. And actually, it's really, really, really sweet portal. It's almost like feminine compared to the portal of Mount Shasta. It's only like 7 miles away, but it's very feminine. I can almost taste it, like the sweetness, like oh my gosh. And people who had a, not in the heart alignment, they use the portal. They know, those people, they know how to enhance the energy from the land and use it for their own greedy way. And so they did really cruel things in there in that portal, and totally made it dormant. So seeing all of that, the Mother Earth is really cleaning up herself even more, so that we all can receive the light.
Do you feel like, or when did you realize that it was a sub portal? And
Well,
you,
I kind of knew that, but
oh, you knew like when you were looking at it.
yeah, and I knew that it's a messy place. It's
Wow.
been attacked, and it's been like underground has been, like, from my perspective, I don't know
Right.
if it's really true or not, but there was a dark, ET,
Right.
base there, was there. And
Right.
now the presence is not there, because that was majorly cleaned up around
Yeah.
2021, around
Yeah.
there. So, but residue is there, and also the portal is still not being activated. So, I think
Do
there are
you?
so many places like that on the earth,
Yeah.
and we are now really, as we are embodying ourselves even
It's
more, and being the conduit of the light, then we are assisting the earth. So that's continuous process, but that's what I noticed this year because I'm experiencing it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now is this? It's not near the big. The what is it? The Black Bear Diner, is it by any
No.
chance?
No.
Because we had a weird experience in that little area.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and anyone that's been, I mean, I've been to Shasta. I haven't explored it too much, but I spent a lot of time in Sedona in 11 trips, long stays, and there are spots that are definitely, you know, they're not fluffy love and light,
Mm.
and some of those are. And in fact, I know I had an experience on one of the sites, and I was told, and I was shown what was going on underground, and I was shown, I was told what to do to like do a ceremony to clear it and that type
Mm.
of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like that you were called there um, by your soul to clear that portal, that sub portal?
Yeah, and it's mutual actually, because because attract what attract is within you as well. So because of the portal of how it was so dormant, and there was no like divine fire whatsoever, and I recognized that within me too,
Mm,
and so I
wow.
could really go deeper and find what's really blocking me, and so the deeper the trauma, I guess, from the childhood to and the past life or whatever, all came up. And so for me it was not very easy time since last the end of last year to the mid January, and now feels really much more comfortable.
The house,
Hmm.
you mean?
Yeah,
The-
house and myself and
Yeah.
the
Well,
place. Hmm.
yeah, I love the way you said that too. Like so many times we go into a situation or come across something that's uh not pleasant, I guess, and we don't really tend to go, oh, I've got that going on with me. But that's what you did. Yeah, even though you said there was no divine fire in the sub portal and that you looked in yourself and saw the same thing. I mean, obviously you have the flame and the fire, but you still were able to look at it and say, I have some healing to do too. So it was a mutual thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is mutual. And I wouldn't say like I was sent there to heal this portal. No, I think it was like really, we're working together with Mother
Yeah.
Earth. And that was the huge recognition for myself too, like I'm doing this together. And, because of this place, I got to see more deeper within myself. And I couldn't find the fire within me too. It
Mm.
was like, finishing that relationship and leaving the comfort zone and totally different environment with totally different energetic field and and like, where am I? What am I? And I couldn't even figure out what to cook for myself. It was like, oh my God.
Couldn't even figure out how to cook, period.
No, I mean, for
For me, that's how I end up.
but for me it's like, what do I want, and like
Mm.
nothing. It was like, whoa, okay, this is very interesting. And the most interesting was that there's a fireplace in the house, and I was looking for the firewoods, and I called like 5 people, and everybody fails. One person broke down the track, one person lost the cell phone and couldn't get back to me, and one person he couldn't even show up. And so on the Christmas day I finally received the firewoods, and that's like totally represent how how I was really how do you say, building up the fire. It took like 3 weeks to really get to that point. And so it's like merging with a portal and also merging completely with a house.
Right.
And it's quite empowering, because everything is really up to you, up to your condition, because everything shows up so obviously. And so from there, I just started to empower myself more, and I purchased the laundry machine, and I connected them all by myself. And, I'm learning, everything from the scratch. I feel like, it's almost remind me of when I moved to Mount Shasta back in 2004, when I
Mm.
didn't know anything about anything, and, really started from the scratch. And this one was different, but reminded me of that too, and just makes me more humble and more aware of my oneness with
Mm.
the land, with the house. you know Even just a one little doorknob, it's like reflection of something happens, like, oh wow. So
Yeah, the whole thing with the firewood, it sounds a bit like the Soulogy Fest in Arkansas, Mulberry Mountain, where people
mm,
were, so it was as if forces were trying to keep people from coming.
mm.
So I don't know if that's the way this
It
is.
could
And
be,
I
yes.
agree. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, though. I see the whole thing as a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So even though on the
Yeah.
surface it might look like dark and light or something,
Right.
it's really
Right.
there. Like when I said, do you think you're meant to go over there? It really, what I should have said was that place and you attracted, you
Yes.
magnified each other,
Yes.
magnetized each other,
Mm-hmm.
pulled each other. But yeah, if I think about like you trying to get the firewood now, you've already, it's calmed down after a couple of weeks there. I don't think that's the end of it. And I love to do rituals with fire.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just my element, and
Mm-hmm.
and I know how powerful it can be. And I have a feeling that you're probably going to be doing some fireplace rituals and really expanding that sub portal, because I don't think it just stops at it opening up,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's gradually opening up, but it's gonna be a full on.
Mm,
Everything is gonna be full on
mm,
as we become full on, because we are just part of everything. So and somebody told me, call in the dragons, because I have dragon friends too, and they can work in the elemental level, to
right.
clean up. And mm-hmm.
Have you
So
called them? Did you call the
yeah.
dragons? Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who was that?
So
Hung? Was that Hung? Did she tell you to call the dragons? She has a whole team of dragons.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed anything? Is it an old house? Is it an older
Yeah,
house?
older house.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
it's got some history. Have you
Yep.
noticed anything psychic or paranormal there? Anything
Mm-mm.
happen? No.
No,
Well,
that
that's
was clear.
mm,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
everything's clear. I don't mean in a
Mm-hmm.
bad way. It could be an angel or a dragon.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
house itself is not so bad,
Mm.
but now I feel comfortable. Mhm.
Well, so many times when we look at our own lives and the lives of other people, we can see how their lives are kind of following the collective, what's happening collectively. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
What and regard to that, what are your plans? Energetically, literally, or otherwise. Like, what do you feel like you're going to be really focusing on this year?
Mm. So this year for me, the gallery is well anchored, to Mount Shasta and holding the beautiful energy. And I've done this one for 3 years and a half, I think. And so for me, it is time for me to expand. So I am expanding my online presence with my intention,
Mm,
and bringing in my sound, my frequency, along with artwork, because feels like people are ready to receive. People are more understanding what I am sharing and bringing forth. So I personally like to have more, online presence, as well as bringing this to different countries.
oh
Like
wow.
hopefully travel to Europe or something. I am feeling that
But now,
too.
would you be taking the art and the sound healing and the flute, everything, if you
Mm-hmm.
went to other places, or would it just be the art, the music?
Music and art, I can probably bring by slide, so I can purchase the projector, and
Mm,
have the slideshow in the back, and then
mm,
play music. So yeah, and the way I receive the response and feedback from people, I feel like there's something important there, and also I feel excited about it too. So follow the joy, right? Follow the excitement. Um, so I would like to expand into that more than just sitting here and greeting people.
right. Yeah. Do you
Mhm.
feel like that the traveling will come this year,
Yes.
or you do? Okay.
Hmm. Definitely. I
Yeah,
already
'cause
did in November, actually, and it was just like nothing. Everything was just normal for me.
where did you go?
I was invited to go to Peru, and I was freaking out in the beginning, but that was November, and that was another time that I have noticed that going to those ancient places, very sacred, and they have been kept so quietly up to the point when the earth is ready to open up for the wisdom that ancient left, and even beyond ancient. And I felt that there, and also I felt that that is starting to open up, so that it will come to our consciousness, you know and yeah, gradually. It's not like pew, it's not all of a sudden, but I could
Mm,
feel, not only the mother earth, preparing to open up all the portals, but at the same time those hidden places of the very, very sacred place are getting activated. So it's really mutual, right? Because we are
yeah,
activating ourselves. So
yeah.
I could feel the whole movement of, like, the faster movement, in a way, very exciting movement that is really confirming to be there, to feel that and be there.
Do you feel like that you were going to see some changes this year? I mean,
What do
things
you
that
mean
are,
changing?
well, yeah, but I mean, like, we've all done so much work inside,
Yeah.
and as within, without. Do you think that we'll start, or do you think we already have? I mean, seeing changes that have come, and we can go, oh, okay, these things are changing because we're changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think we'll see some of that?
Well, as we change, as we recognize our change, then, wow, we will surely see the outcome in the physical, you know. So,
Yeah,
mhm,
true. Yeah.
mhm.
And so, can you tell us a little bit about your dragons? Was that the first time you called them in, or
Yeah, would
you've
you
had a?
like to? I painted a lot of dragon last year. Other than these line drawings, I have
Hmm.
kind of like a colorful drawing
Oh, you
that
do.
painting that I
Oh,
did,
let's
and
see.
so I can show you. Here it
Yeah.
is. So can you see?
Yeah, that reminds me of Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a big dragon in the mountain in Hawaii at
Mm.
Hanalei Bay.
Oh
Yeah, that reminds
well,
me of it.
this is Shasta.
That's very cool.
Thanks. Yeah, so I have a different kind of
Oh,
style, you
yeah, but
know.
you can see the dragon.
Mhm.
It is a different style.
Yeah, I try different things, and have
I didn't know
fun.
you painted dragons. You're the third person I've met now that does dragons.
Yeah, I don't know
Mm.
why, I just do. This is like a baby dragon.
Oh, that's nice. That's pretty.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah, I like the colors.
Mm. This one is more like a cartoon.
Mm.
So it's more like a kid style. This one. I
Oh,
still have
wow.
this one.
What is that?
What is
What
what?
is what is that? I mean, like it looks similar to your other work, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Right.
So what does all that represent to you? I mean, I know it's different for everyone, I think is what you said before, but there seems to always be some things like a theme to it. Is there a theme to
Mm-hmm.
this one?
Well, this one feels really, the word that comes to me is unification.
Uh-huh.
So the unification of the earth, the Mount Shasta, it's represent as a Mount Shasta, but earth, and then heavenly realm, and you know, um, the dragon is like a dragon. Dragon represent for me is like a life force as well. That the primordial life force, which we've been blocked for so many eons of time on the earth. It's like the mother, the life.
Mm.
And the life force is back, and then holding the heavenly realm to like the earth realm, and together in a unison, feminine no
Mm.
masculine, you can say that. So yeah, feel the unification.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that one.
Me too. This one is a small one.
Ah, that's
the
cute.
the
But
girl riding the dragon.
the dragon rider.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
This is different style.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. This one is, yeah.
God, you've been drawing a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those look like I don't know, twin. I don't
Twin
know.
dragon.
Yeah, twin dragon.
Yeah, celebrating the infinite love.
Yeah,
So,
that's interesting.
mm-hmm. That's the Lemurian dragon I call Crystal Keeper dragon. That's in the
Oh
universe.
wow, that's wild.
This is
That's
really, really early one.
now that I don't know. There's something about this one,
Mm-hmm.
and we often think of the universe just strictly being ships and you know
Yeah,
that part of it.
it's.
Why wouldn't the elementals be out there?
Mm-hmm.
Of course they
Well,
are.
why not?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think that's. Oh, that's the last one.
Oh, that's neat.
Pink dragon. She was very sweet. So when I paint or when I draw, I can feel them. So she was really, really sweet, and I think that time I needed a lot of loving support. So she came out. I love her tail. So beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Different looking dragons, that's for sure. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this one's got little people over
That
the left. Oh, what
Yes,
is
this is
this?
me. My book, my
Uh,
children's book that I wrote in
my,
2007 or 8.
uh-huh.
And the story was interesting because I was parking in Mount Shasta, and that day I was sort of super bored. I don't know why. I was just so bored, and I was even saying that I'm so bored. And then that moment, the story came to me, and
Mm.
I knew from the beginning to the end. So I wrote it down, and it's a really good story. So I've been working with the dragons in my own way.
For a long time, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really start to I learn from drawing and painting because the knowledge, I don't really acquire knowledge from outside so much,
Mm.
and I like to keep it pure. Not that outside source is not pure, but it's like for me to really maintaining my world and my knowingness from whatever comes out of me is the most important information for me, because that activate me and make me grounded on the earth too. So I love doing that, painting and drawing. And now music is really another level that I'm really discovering myself,
Really?
what's coming out. So
And are you talking about your vocalization or your,
mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you really, and when did you really start doing that? I mean, really? Because it was the
um
flute, and I know you did a little bit of singing, but you really seem to be shifting gears and really getting into that.
right, yeah, about 2020 I started to sing in front of people,
Mm.
but just a little bit because I still get very, very nervous.
Mm.
But I think having the COVID thing, and being online, and be able to sing there instead of in front of people so much, kind of put me into the training of being okay to be in front of people and singing as well. So um yeah.
And so you're going to expand that in 2023.
Yes, I would like to bring that
You
to
want
the
to do,
world.
you want to do some now?
Yeah, I would love
Oh,
to.
cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
I'm going to
I
turn my
am
mic off. Go ahead.
okay. Should I show my drawing while I'm playing, or
Sure, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Whatever
okay.
you want to do.
Well, I
It's all up
think
to you.
that's really powerful in that way. So I'm going to do screen share. Let's see. Okay. Hold on for a second. Okay. So the first one, can you see? Okay. So first one is I'm gonna show 3 drawings, and this was the recent one that I finished. And the thing that I talked about, I felt a lot of Saint Germain and empowerment of like wisdom of more like encouragement from the Mary Magdalene, and many other. I'm sure you can feel more. And I'm going to play music, and this video is about 7 minutes. So hope you enjoy the visual as well as the sound.
That last one you ended with, what universe was that? Is that the
I,
kids universe? I like that
lots
one.
of angels, yes.
Angels, yeah.
The very last one was in my last CD and last album, so I have a recorded layer. So, but the first two, well, first one and second one, I think was not recorded one. So
Right.
yeah, mhm,
I like that. Yeah, that's
mhm.
nice the way you bring that all together. And
Yeah, I
then to
like that.
use the art with it too. That's a really, because I know when I was there and I was showing people the big ones, right? And
Mhm.
just walking around like, and then watching it later, it actually does something more than just staring at it. Like you can really, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
So
and
I,
then
yeah, I hope that works
mhm.
out for you
I hope so too.
where
Bringing
you're
the frequency and
traveling around and
mhm.
yeah, I've been playing some of your stuff on the remixes.
Oh, really? Thank you
I'm
so
still
much.
gathering new material, but yeah, I'll be talking to you about it. I'm not trying to like get anything done in these, short deadlines. I'm just trying to like build,
No, there's no
you know,
deadlines, right?
no,
And it
no,
feels
just
like, the most priority is to really take care of ourselves because,
hmm
so much new calls are coming in and, things are like bigger things got granted. So now we have, more responsibility and more, responsibility to take care of our sacred temple, and because embodying in is the most important things. What you do
yeah,
from it is not that important, from their perspective, and more like, how are you going to hold the light in your body and,
mm,
move around with it, just by walking or just smiling on the street,
yeah,
talking to people. It's just enough, and we tend to focus on so many things outside of us, to
yeah,
accomplish something. And, for them up there, it's like, no, just be yourself and be enjoy and enjoy your life. And so much of the life force that has not been on the earth are coming, showering you. So, just take that in and, make it full, with your body and
yeah.
with your life, simple life. You don't need to do anything. Cook for yourself, take a walk, have a good sleep, all of that is so much more important than, for example, drawing or painting. And yeah, that's another level of, like, visualizing and creating and putting that energy into it. But,
Yeah.
first and foremost, we just need to be here and be enjoying. Yeah.
Life is art,
Right.
right? Living
Mm-hmm.
is art.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to be able to create things. But
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Like
Mm-hmm.
we create those things to move people or to transfer information of,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, high frequency or loving frequency or whatever it is. But we can actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually do that now from what the few people I've talked to and what seems to be like going on in January and from here forward. It seems to be like a place where we're not going to be interfered with.
Mm-hmm.
And we can, but we can't, externalize. We can't, oh, well, this person needs to do this and this person needs to do that. We actually can do it like from what you're saying. Every step we take, every person we meet, every smile we can give. And I know it sounds corny, but it's true. This is what we are talking about on the last show. These are the things that enact the magic. The
Mm-hmm.
magic works when we own and embody the soul.
Mm-hmm.
That we're gonna have to get you at the Soulogy Fest, the next one, whenever that may be. It might be like on Jupiter or something. I don't know. It could be years away, but
Well, I have an intention for that. It's just, in a divine flow, I would like to bring myself there as well.
yeah, me
Mm-hmm.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's something too. I think a lot of things are going to be looked at differently. First of all, I think certain people are going to be looked at differently.
Mm-hmm.
People that we looked at that had ADHD or autism or people like a lot of friends that you have and I have that are really by society standards peculiar, but they're not. They have a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those people will be seen different. And really, probably most of the people in these communities by
Mm-hmm.
society will be seen in a different light. Some people have been talking about it at the end of the year on the show. They were talking about how their family and friends who weren't awake are now coming to them and asking them questions,
Mm.
right? So
Right.
they're being seen differently. But I think the other thing that's going to happen, or that's happening, maybe I feel like it's happened to me a little bit, is the whole exploration of self through creation, like
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with Ty, and then trying to sing and not memorizing words and just making up the words in the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's like you come out of it, and yeah, you're doing it openly. It's like having an open rehearsal, basically, and and but you come out of it and you just feel so, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a download, and you
Mm-hmm.
feel like, wow, that one song, I really had a little moment there, and
Mm-hmm.
it does something for you. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to explain it, but it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm saying is that I think that our what we call artistic expressions
Mm-hmm.
are going to take on a different light, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not like, oh, let's put up all this artwork or music and let's have a contest and see who's number one or
Mm-hmm.
see who can sell the most
Mm-hmm.
records. No, it's not like that. I think they're actually expressions of a person that they're sharing,
Mm-hmm.
and all of it's beautiful, kind of thing. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder sometimes, now I know a lot of the hieroglyphs and the different things, the cave drawings are documenting certain things, but how many of them, I wonder, are actually expressions of someone trying to share their inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Right.
that's something that we might see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so much within us that I think we are really discovering, by voicing out or moving, doing something like, wow, it's been like that for me too. Like, I do painting and drawing, and like, wow, how did that happen? But it's like a food for me.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
it's powerful, because you sent me it's what, a 5 by 8, I think. You sent me a personal portrait,
Mm-hmm.
and I still have it. Now I'm traveling right now, so I have it in my bag,
Mm-hmm.
but most everything else I left, and I have about 4 or 5 things that I carry with me if I'm not going to be in one place. But that was really cool. I always have it right next to my computer when I'm not in transit. And but yeah, to think that somebody's, because your style of that part of what you do, like what's right behind you, uh, I've never seen anybody do anything like that ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm talking about. Like, everybody has a soul signature.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own unique way of tapping in. And then
Mm-hmm.
also, really, everybody has their own voice, their
Mm-hmm.
own artistic expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It is
It really
pretty
is.
cool. And
Yeah.
we are really peeling off our onions, and now, shining our, the essential, the, how do you say, essential light.
Essential. Yeah.
Yeah, essential light. And from that, when we express from that, then nothing, it's like everything is gonna benefit each other.
Yeah.
It's like we can't help supporting each other with that light.
Right.
Whatever you do, whatever you speak, and however you look, at the person, and so it's like a non-stoppable, of like giving the fire to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and inspiring each other and uplifting each other. And in that place there is no more competition, or none
That's
of
right.
that. It's like, wow, I feel inspired by this person, and it's not even the person, I can even feel just the energetic, and it's really comfortable and uplifting. And that's where we're heading to. I mean, I feel that already,
We're
with.
here.
Mhm.
We're here, I
Mhm.
think, already.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
feels like that feels like a difference, a type of difference from last year to this year,
Mm-hmm.
even though we're only 4 weeks into this year,
Mm-hmm.
is that the competition thing
Mm-hmm.
isn't what it used to be. Like
Mm-hmm.
comparisons isn't what it used to be.
No.
And then of course people stepping up, you think people step up and they get on a show like this and they talk for the first time or they're on camera, but it's more than that. It's people stepping up, speaking their truth in relationships, at work, making decisions, putting themselves first in the Trinity energy way, not in the selfish way,
Mm-hmm.
doing what's good for them. And like you said, and a few other people are talking about that I've run into so far this year, where it's a continuation from last year where the body started getting louder and louder, but the body really seems to be calling the shots now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when I connected last night, I said, God, how did I get there? Because I was trying to figure out. I like to have discussions between me and that aspect. So I started talking to my body, which I've done before, but the body had a multiplicity to it. So the body had bodies in the body. So I found myself talking to different parts of the body, but not like different sections, different layers of the body,
Mm-hmm.
which I've never, maybe I'm weird or something, but this is what I see like 2023. Every day is something different,
Mm-hmm.
something we've never experienced, something we've never tried. And the only thing holding us back, so to speak, is the past. Really basically, I would just call it the past because
Mm-hmm.
it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to take it with you? Well, go ahead. But we've been doing that for centuries.
Mm-hmm. Right. So might as well start brand new
That's
with
right.
our own power of love, and we're just really discovering how powerful we are and the power of love. And I don't know what it is inside of us all, but
Mhm.
like, wow, I think it's gonna be amazing once we welcome that, opening more and more. And I feel more excitement than hesitation this
Yeah.
year within myself. I
Yeah.
had a lot of hesitation. I still do have a little doubt, and it
Yeah.
comes up. But that part is, for me, it's becoming more smaller and welcoming, and more, how do you say, stepping into the possibility and be open for it,
Yeah.
is much more bigger in a way. And mhm.
Yeah. I think that self-consciousness, that nervousness,
Mhm.
you know, I think that's part of it, right? I mean, like I've just noticed, like when I've been doing the stuff with Ty, that it never goes away.
Mhm.
Like the only time it goes away is when you lose yourself. And the only way to lose yourself is to stay with the self consciousness,
Mhm.
because you can't make it go away and you can't turn the camera or the microphone off,
Mhm.
right? So you just keep going, and then all of a sudden you're in this space like a breakthrough,
Mhm.
and it could be for 2 minutes or you know 20 minutes. I don't, but
Mhm.
I really feel like that spontaneous and the
Mhm.
not trying to distance yourself or myself from the self consciousness or nervousness. It's actually a benefit,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
It's
Yep.
actually a benefit because it
Mhm.
it it supplies in the frequency of your expression.
Mhm.
It supplies like a transparency,
Mhm.
basically
Mhm.
transparency. I was making a song. There was about four of us, and we were freestyling. And they put down a really good beat, and they gave me the microphone, and I started, and I was talking, and then I started singing, and it was really working good. And so I went on for a little bit, and then there was a pause, and I had like a line or two to say, and because the momentum stopped, my whole body started trembling, and the
Mhm.
two lines I said, you could hear my voice shaking,
Wow.
right?
Mhm.
But the sister that was with us, she picked up on it somehow telepathically. I guess making music, you kind of connect or whatever. And it was almost like holding space or something for a second. She picked up on it, probably because she's experienced. And But that was a real interesting moment for me, because I thought, oh my God, right in the middle of the song. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And then, you stay, you can't change it, and you just keep going. But to me, it feels like a little micro of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's how it
Yeah,
feels to me.
definitely. I think,
Yeah.
to appreciate everything, every part of us, is really the process of unification too,
Yeah.
and many of the spiritual people, they want to bypass that uncomfortable feeling, but we've got to bring in all of that and dance with it, um and yeah, it's not comfortable sometimes, to stick to that moment, but it's worse if you get stuck and hide away under the blanket. It's just more like stay in the moment and
Mm-hmm.
be present with it and have an intention to move forward. And something, it's like an engine, start new engine start to start, and I don't know, new road shows up, something like that, and everything can be the fuel of the movement of the forwardness.
Yeah.
So yeah, even like
Definitely.
anger and all of that, it's like use them all up, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the sister Ramona Lappin. She was on in the previous show today, and another
Mm-hmm.
one a couple of days ago. We're talking about. So Ramona said, everyone probably looks at me and thinks I'm all fluffy, love, and light, but I'm not. And that's what she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I noticed in September on the show. Most of the shows, the people come on, regardless of their gifts, and they're really human, like more human than I've ever seen them in 4,000 shows I've been doing this,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's a really good sign. Like we're not distancing ourselves from the human, or wishing we were in the future when we're in better shape, or you know what I mean, or
Mm-hmm.
wishing we were back on our home planet, or whatever the case is. We're actually owning the human being,
Mm-hmm.
and because we are, and being present, we're starting to see the beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And let us not forget, many narratives speak to our story here, and they talk about those um, entities or beings or whatever you want to call it, dimensions, that basically were played the part of taking our power, have always known we were more powerful than
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the gains may have started based on some narratives. But
Mm-hmm.
one last thing, I noticed that you participate sometimes in collaborations. And I saw a couple in the last few months, and I saw one recently. Are you doing something in collaboration or at a conference or something? Did I see that, or did that already happen?
uh, well, several of them already happened.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I got to share myself with Brooklyn Rain
Oh, Brooklyn. Yeah.
and Emily, gosh.
Okay. Oh, you were on
Mm-hmm.
their show, that
Yeah.
show. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
cool. Really
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
such a beautiful people that
Yeah. They're
yeah.
doing good work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's really cool. I don't know Emily, but I know Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
She's been
Right.
on the show a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Do you
I've
have
seen.
anything planned for the spring or the summer?
Springtime, I am going to attend the Serpent Mound is in Ohio, and it's
Right.
a wisdom keeper. That many of the elders are going to be there, native elders, and
Oh,
they've
wow.
been doing it for many years. When Golden
Chief
Light,
Golden Light Eagle.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, he
Yeah,
was
I've heard
present.
about that. A friend of mine goes, and is real involved. A couple of friends of mine, real
Mm,
involved in all that Sundance stuff, and some of the indigenous uh, activities or gatherings. But yeah, that would be cool. That Serpent Mound is if you've ever researched it and studied it a little bit, there's some really interesting information
mm-hmm,
regarding it. Like
mm-hmm,
it may not be the three pyramids in Egypt, but it's not some little thing that just popped up out of
mm-hmm,
nowhere.
mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of really strong history.
Right. And yeah, for me, I'm just really wanting to connect with that land and also, testing myself, how much I can bring myself, into that kind of place, with many different kind of
Oh, I think
people.
you'll do just fine. I think you'll actually be more comfortable there than you probably are here, because we've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like even walking around Sedona, there's certain places I go and I'm like, or I can go, uh, where I can find a peace very quickly because I'm so like, oh, it's like walking in my house or something.
Mm.
There's like
Right.
3 or 4 places I like to go to. Well,
Yeah.
it's good seeing you. I'm so happy that you could come on short notice, and we'll try to do it again in a couple of months.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you so much for having
yeah,
me and being
of course.
flexible and on
Mm,
the Zoom and things like
yeah,
that.
no
And
problem.
yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully I'll have more new things to share.
mm,
And thank you so much for having me and continuing this show. Mm-hmm.
you're welcome. You're very welcome, and thank you again. See
Okay.
you later, my sister. Take
See you
care.
later.
See y'all later. See you tomorrow.